It's become fairly common these days, people doing physical endurance challenges for all sorts of worthwhile causes, raising money by walking, running, swimming, cycling long distances. Doing something like that, of course, is very commendable. But to also then sell the family house and basically everything else you have, well, that takes your commitment to an entirely different level. And that's what Andrew Biszczak has done. Now, he's running from Adelaide to Brisbane in the $1 million run for the Butterfly Children of Australia. Yep, you heard right, the Butterfly Children. Andrew, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you, Arthur?
Where do I find you as we chat?
Right now, I am in Newcastle and enjoying a lovely spot of rain down here.
This incredible journey, when did it start?
Well, it actually all started about 5 years ago when I first met my very first butterfly child named Kate Turner. And my wife and I were sitting in our business, and Kate Turner was brought in with her family and a research scientist from Deborah Australia, who is the Australian charity that looks after the butterfly children in respect to fundraising and research and just support services for the families involved. And Kate Turner was 23 when I first met her, and she had a severe case of this shocking condition called epidermolysis bullosa, where the skin is missing the glue, essentially, that holds the layers of skin together. And so they live their whole lives covered head to toe in blisters. And as you can imagine, terrible scarring all over their bodies from a lifetime of blistering. And Kate came in at 23 years old, and it was quite a confronting experience because I'd never seen anything like it, and emotionally it's very tough to experience for the first time. We made a commitment at that point to do all we could to help with fundraising and also building awareness. And we built the Deborah brand into our brand because we own the company, and started from there. And it was quite sadly, after doing more and more and getting more involved with Deborah Australia and the Butterfly Children, that Kate actually passed away 2 years ago, and she was 26 years old when that happened. And it was at her funeral shortly after that the $1 million run was born, and I knew from that point I just wanted to do just a lot more to help these children and build awareness around the country of what this disease actually really is, because very sadly, with 1,000 kids in Australia who suffer from this condition, there is no direct government funding, and most of the money raised is raised by volunteers. So it's something that really needs a lot of attention, and it really needs people's help around the country to change this situation and ideally find a cure for this condition as well.
I must confess, I had never heard of the Butterfly Children until I came across this challenge that you're doing, and very fair to say, as has been your experience as you've just shared briefly, for many Australians unaware of this rather unique, horrible skin condition that young Australians are facing.
You know, there's so many complexities to this condition that make it so incredibly shocking for the patients who suffer it. And the doctors around the world call this the cruelest disease they know, because they're very much likened to third-degree burns victims. The only difference is the skin of a third-degree burns victims regenerates eventually, and for a butterfly child, there's no regeneration. It's just a constant battle. And what happens to the external skin linings affects all the internal linings as well. So right through from the eyes, mouth, gums, throat, bowel linings and esophagus, like right through. And the only way to really combat the very high risk of infection to this disease is daily baths, which the children go through, which are 3 hours long and often have bleach and salt in them to kill the wounds. So I can't even begin to imagine how unbelievably painful that must be for the kids, and an experience that they have to tolerate every single day of their lives.
Brisbane's 96.5, Andrew Biszczak is a man on a mission in the $1 Million Run. And as you've just heard the last couple of minutes, a very important mission. With his wife Sonia and 9-year-old daughter Tiffany, he's running from Adelaide to Brisbane, a distance of 3,000 kilometres, wanting to raise desperately needed funds for the butterfly children of Australia. And as you've just heard, this is the name given to a rare and shocking skin disease where young Australian people live their lives covered head to toe in blisters, something which I just can't imagine. Children with the disease are often called butterfly children because their skin is as delicate as butterfly wings. Now, Andrew, you sold your dream home in Victor Harbor, South Australia, along with nearly everything else you own. Are you crazy?
I have heard that a few times in the last few months. Yes, some would say I am. Look, I campaigned for a year and a half to try and secure corporate funding to cover the cost of this mammoth event. There's such a massive coordination and a massive financial commitment to do this. And so I was unsuccessful in securing that corporate funding, and the only option left really, after we sold our business to free up our time to do this, the only option left was to self-fund it, and the only money we had left was in our home and in our possessions that we had at the time. So we made a decision to self-fund it and get this run started. So yeah, we sold virtually everything we own, and we've poured it all into this charity and into this run.
So how much money have you raised so far on this challenge?
Arthur, we're a long way off where we want to be, and it's very, very hard work. If anyone's done any charity fundraising, it's not an easy process. We've raised around $115,000 so far, with about 4.5 weeks left until we get to Brisbane, and the goal is definitely strongly focused on the $1 million target. I do believe that we can get there.
You started the run in Adelaide about 2 months ago it would be now. When are you expected to arrive in Brisbane?
On August the 11th, which is Friday late afternoon, and all going well, we'll have a big finale Friday night, but otherwise we will carry out a commemorative finale, probably in Brisbane city centre somewhere on Saturday mid-morning.
People can get on board with you and make donations of all shapes and sizes. The best way of doing that is just looking at your Facebook page, the $1 Million Run. Do a Google search for that and just go from there.
Absolutely. Or they can also go to my website, which is themilliondollarrun.com.au. And they can watch the full story there, but if they want to follow the daily journey and see the stories, the Facebook page is the best place to be, where we upload what's happening each day as we travel along the road with my wife, towing our caravan behind us, which has been kindly sponsored by Knowles Island Star Caravans in South Australia, and my 9-year-old daughter sitting on the front seat getting homeschooled along the way, while my wife also finishes off online her MBA and supports me at the same time. It's
all happening.
It's all happening. It's quite a busy, big adventure.
Andrew Biszczak, look, an incredible thing you're doing. I hope and pray for an amazing success and result when your run comes to an end in a couple of weeks' time. Related to that, when the run is over, what happens then to you and your family? Because you've got no house, you've got very few belongings. What are you telling them about how life looks for you guys after doing all this?
That's a very good question, Martha. Look, we're open-minded, and we have faith completely that things are going to work out exactly the way they're meant to. And we will look at the opportunities that present themselves when we get to the finish line in about 4.5 weeks, and just see what happens along the way. We really do have absolute faith that it's all going to work out the way it's supposed to.
Love your passion. You're inspirational. Andrew Biszczak, all the best, and thank you for joining me on Brisbane's 96.5.
Thank you so much, Arthur. It's an absolute pleasure to be part of your program.